Hey, alright, I'm Eric from Around To It RC, and today I'm going to review the Flyzone Focke Wulf for you. Now this is the ready to fly version sitting on the table in front of me, and before we jump into the review, let's see what comes in the box for the Focke Wulf. Okay, that was the unboxing, and the assembly time for the ready to fly version was less than 1 hour, and that gets a major thumbs up from me. Kudos to the Flyzone team for making this such an easy build. All you need is a couple of screwdrivers, some CA glue, and some Loctite, and you're in business. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the other accessories that come with the airplane. The controller that you get for the airplane is a 6-channel 2.4 gigahertz Tactic radio, and you also get the batteries for it. Alright, let's take a look at the other accessories that come with the airplane, and then we'll talk about the plane itself. Now you get a lithium polymer battery for the airplane, and you also get a balancing charger for that airplane battery. And it is an Electrifly 3-cell 11.1 volt lithium polymer balancing charger. And the really cool thing about this charger is that not only did they supply you with the AC wall adapter so you can charge at home, you also get the DC adapter so you can charge at the field. And I like that feature from this plane and the Flyzone company. Usually you only get one or the other, not both. And to me that's a big plus, I like that. Now let's talk about the battery for the airplane. It is a Flyzone 3-cell 11.1 volt 1800 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery with a 20C discharge rate. The Focke Wulf was made in Germany and used during World War II, and they made several different versions of this airplane, and we're looking at the 190 here sitting on my table. And I think Flyzone did an amazing job recreating that airplane because the scale looks and detail on it are just awesome. And I can't wait to get it out to the flying field and try it. But before we do that, let's talk about some of the specs on the airplane and then we'll go fly, okay? Now the wingspan on the airplane is 44 inches, the length is 39 inches, and it has a flying weight of 2.5 pounds. Up front we've got a gray spinner and a 10x6 3-bladed prop. And the powertrain for the Focke Wulf is a 30 amp ESC and a powerful brushless outrunner motor. Now I would like to tell you more specs about the motor, but that's all I can find in the manual and online. In the future I would like to see Flyzone post the specs for that motor because plane geeks like me want to know that kind of stuff. Now you have 5 micro servos already installed in the plane. You have 2 in the fuse, 1 for your elevator and 1 for your rudder, and you've got 3 already pre-installed in the main wing. And that's where we get to the cool factor on this airplane. The first servo in the plane wing is for the ailerons, the second servo is for the hidden flaps, and the third servo is for the retractable landing gear. Isn't that cool? And all that was already set up for you in your 6-channel 2.4 gigahertz Tactic radio. You control the retractable landing gear with this switch on the controller, and on the front of the controller you have a knob for the flaps on the plane, and it's fully proportional so you can add a little or a lot of flaps. It's really up to you. Now the other cool factor about the transmitter is you have a dual rate switch on this side of the airplane, and it's already set up for low and high rates for the airplane. So you have low and high rates for the aileron, elevator, and rudder already set up for you. And the Flyzone team was really thinking when they put this package together for you. Now let's talk about the building process real quick and we'll take it on out to the flying field. And if you remember, I said you would need 2 screwdrivers, some CA, and thread locking compound to complete the build. Well, you're going to use 1 small screwdriver and the thread locking compound to check all your control linkages to make sure everything's tight and centered, and then you would add a drop of the thread locking compound to secure the screw before you put the wing on. Now, talking about the main wing is really goes on quick and easy, and you use the other screwdriver to attach it to the fuse with just 1 nylon bolt. Now onto the horizontal stab. It slides into the fuse and it's self-centering when you put it in, and it's held on with just 1 screw. And that's pretty much it. Now, remember I said something about CA? You have simulated gun barrels on each side of the wing, and I used just 1 drop of CA on each of those to install them on the wing. And that's pretty much it for the first part of the review for the Focke Wulf. So why don't we take it on out to the flying field and give it a go. It was a little bit windy for the Maiden Flight, but I decided to try it anyway.
Oh my gosh, it's windy. I gotta find it.
The Focke Wulf is handling the wind very well right now as I power it through a loop. And on this pass I try a few rolls. Another great feature of the Focke Wulf are the hand launches and the belly landings, which I was able to take advantage of due to the windy conditions on the Maiden Flight. This is the actual maiden flight of the Focke Wulf on the first battery, and as you can tell right now I'm having fun with it, inverted in the wind. I'm really liking the airplane so far, and as you can tell, I can slow it down really good right here. So how about a touch and go?
Ooh. I'm sorry, I know you don't want that on your video.
What'd you say?
I was like, ooh.
Well, you know the maiden flight wouldn't be complete without a spin, so here goes. And right out of the spin and into a low pass across the field. Well, I've had enough fun with the Focke Wulf on the maiden flight, so let's bring it on in, take it back to the shop and break it on down for you.
Perfect.
Thumbs up.
And on a windy day too.
The Focke Wulf. That's a great flying plane. I like it. Alright, it's time for the final thoughts on the Focke Wulf. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video review and talk about the highlights of the airplane real quick. Now, as you remember, this is the ready to fly version sitting here on the table in front of me. So it came out of the box 90% assembled. So the build time was truly less than 1 hour on the airplane. And that gets a big thumbs up from me. Now, being that it was a ready to fly airplane, everything that you needed to get this plane up in the air was in the box already, such as the 2.4 gigahertz Tactic radio with the retractable landing gear, flaps, and dual rates already set up on the controller. That's pretty neat, and that's something that you don't normally see on other ready to fly packages. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the flying characteristics of the airplane. From the flight video, you see I was able to do some mild sport airbag maneuvers with the plane, but more than that, the plane was just fun and easy to fly. Which leads me up to who I would recommend this airplane to. Now, I wouldn't really recommend this airplane to the novice pilot, but I would recommend it to the novice pilot with some prior flying experience with high wing trainers such as the Sensei or the Switch airplane. For those pilots with some prior flying experience, this could be a good second airplane for you. And those intermediate and advanced flyers, I know you'll have a great time with this plane just like I did. Now for pricing and availability on this airplane, you can go check it out at towerhobbies.com, and I'll be providing direct links to their website in my video notes for this airplane. So be sure to read my video notes and go check this plane out at towerhobbies.com, okay? Well, that's about it for the video review of the Focke Wulf by Flyzone. As always, I'm glad you got to see me, and keep on flying.
Why'd you duck?
What are you doing?
Oh no, the pilot ejected when he thought that he was going to hit Eric's head.
Ha ha.
Can I stop recording now? Or you want that to be a blooper?
Landing. 5.
7.
What?
5 it is.
Oh no, the pilot ejected when he thought that he was going to hit Eric's head.